Oh, I see you've accepted my offer of a refresher course in the art of detection, Perhaps you want to reacquaint yourself with the basics. Or perhaps you wish to show off your skills. Or perhaps...
Mom said we can't have dinner unless we humor you.
Well, in that case, let's get started, shall we?
On the surface, a game like Guilty Party from Disney Interactive looks like your typical budget title. But when you pop it into your Wii, you'll immediately be impressed with the clear effort put forth by Disney for this title. From the cartoony graphics that work perfectly for the system, to the theme song that opens up the game like a classic Disney animated movie, you'll soon realize there is more to this game than your typical budget title.
There it is! All right!
Hey everybody, this is Ray Carsolo for Classic Game Room, and the basic story of Guilty Party is that a family of detectives has come together as the paternal head of the family, the great Commodore, designed after the greatest detective of all time, Sherlock Holmes, has announced that he will retire. On the heels of this news also comes the announcement by his most nefarious nemesis, Mr. Valentine, that his greatest criminal scheme to date will soon be put in motion. In response, the Commodore announces that with him being retired, this will be a perfect way to prove who in the family should take over the reins of the family detective business. You're then given the opportunity to choose between the Commodore's older sister, brother-in-law, son, daughter, grandson, or granddaughter, all of whom are also influenced by classic detectives from pop culture, as you work to stop Mr. Valentine and unravel the greatest mystery of all. Who is the man behind Mr. Valentine's red mask? When it comes to gameplay, there isn't much to the game. Imagine a cross between the classic board game Clue and Mario Party. For each crime that Mr. Valentine commits, you must explore your surroundings looking for clues and interrogating possible suspects in a turnstile fashion like a traditional board game. When you find a clue or suspect, you are thrown into a mini-game that you must complete in order to ascertain the information each one holds. After interrogating all suspects, sometimes more than once, and collecting all clues, you have to then draw a composite of the possible suspect and confront your potential villain. If correct, you'll clear the level and learn how they became wrapped up in Mr. Valentine's scheme, and only by clearing all 7 cases can you finally figure out who the criminal mastermind really is behind Mr. Valentine's hearted mask. To make things a little more difficult, the computer also tries to throw random mini-games your way, on top of the ones needed to gather clues, and also throws obstacles like power outages and locked doors in your way. Luckily though, at the start of every turn, you are given a card that can help you bypass more difficult mini-games and some of the obstacles thrown in your path, offering up a little bit of strategy to how you solve these cases as well.
I'm so happy I could eat a horse. Haha, yes.
What's nice about this game is that aside from the story mode, that can be played single player, co-op, or competitive locally with friends, is that the game has a plethora of original cases that can be played outside the story mode and verses. Simply choose the location, and the game will do the rest in terms of determining crime, suspects, and culprit. Adding great comedic voice acting for all the characters, good music and sound effects that fits with the cartoony theme, and the graphics that are exactly what you expect from the Wii, and there's a lot more substance and style than you typically get in a budget title. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, there is still a reason this is a budget title. The story mode should only take 4 to 5 hours in single player mode, even on hard, due to the game having a focus on pre-teens. It is Disney after all. And the versus mode is only worthwhile if you have people to play with. This lack of depth and no online capabilities really hurts the title overall, and reminds you why it's only costing you $40 instead of $50. Good peripherals though, a cute, kid-oriented plot, and solid gameplay that revolves around minigames makes you appreciate the title for what it is. I still don't think it has the depth or replay value of something you need to buy, but for what it is and whom it's geared towards, it's a solid piece of work.
Perhaps this will assist your case.
If you, or especially your kids, are having a couple of friends over this weekend, and all you have is a Wii, I would definitely recommend putting this near the top of your rental queue. If you're a fan of Disney, mysteries, and minigames, it also might be something you'd want to look at anyways, but I wouldn't purchase it outright, even though I absolutely love the theme song.
There's been a crime, a crook is on the loose, you need to act before he cooks your goose. Investigate the where and why and who, don't hesitate, you know what you